Hello everybody, today I will give you overview of outline classes, structs and records of C Sharp. So without wasting our time, let's start the session. Outline of C Sharps. In C Sharp, the meaning of a sort, a class, struct or a record resembles a diagram that determines what the sort can do. An item is fundamentally a block of memory that has been designated and designed by the outline. This article gives an outline of these plans and their elements. The following article in this series presents objects. Embodiment. Embodiment is in some case alluded to as the primary point of support or guideline of items situated programming. A class or struct can indicate how open every one of its individual is to code beyond the class or struct techniques and factors that are not expected to be utilized from beyond the class. Or gathering can be concealed to restrict the potential for coding mistakes or pernicious endeavors. For more data, see the object situated programming instructional exercise. Individuals. The individuals from a kind incorporate all techniques, fields, constants, properties, and occasions. In C Sharp, there are no worldwide factor or strategies as are in a few different dialects. Indeed, even a program's entrance point, the main technique should be proclaimed inside a class or struct verifiably when you utilize high level proclamations. The accompanying rundown incorporates every one of the different sort of individuals that might be pronounced in a class, struct or record. Fields, constants, properties, strategies, constructors, occasions, finalizers, indexers, administrators, selected types. For more data, see members. Openness. A few strategies and properties are intended to be called or gotten to from code outside a class or struct known as client code. Different techniques and properties may be just for use in the class or struct itself. It's critical to restrict the openness of your code so just the expected client code can arrive at it. You indicate how available your sorts and their individuals are to client code by utilizing the accompanying accompanying access modifiers. Public, secured, inward, safeguard inward, private safeguarded. The default openness is private. Legacy. Classes, however, not structs, supports the idea of legacy. A class that gets from another class called the base class consequently contains all general society safeguard and inward individuals from the base class with the exception of its constructors and finalizers. Classes might be announced as theoretically, and that implies that at least one of their strategies have no execution, albeit conceptual. Classes can't be launched straightforwardly. They can act as base classes for different classes that give the missing execution. Classes can likewise be proclaimed as fixed to keep different classes from acquiring from them. For additional data, see inheritance and polymorphism. Interfaces. Classes, structs, and records can execute numerous connection points. To execute from a connection point implies that the sort carries out every of the techniques characterized in the point of interaction. For more data, see interfaces. Non-exclusive types. Classes, structs and records can be categorized with at least one sort boundaries. Client code supplies the sort when it makes a code of the kind. For instance, the list class in the system collection generic namespace in categorized with one kind boundaries. Client code makes a case of a list string or list integer to indicate the sort that the rundown will hold. For more data, see generics. Static types. Classes, yet not structs or records, can be pronounced as static. A static class can contain just static individuals and can't be launched with the new catchphrase. One duplicate of the class is stacked into memory when the program is stacked, and its individuals are gotten to through the class name. Classes, structs, and records can contain static individuals. For additional data, see static classes and static class individuals. Settled types. A class, struct, or record can be settled inside another class, struct, or record. For more data, see nested types. In incomplete types, you can categorize part of a class, struct, or technique in one code record and one more part in a different code document. For additional data, see partial classes and methods. Object initializers. You can start up and instate class or struct items and assortments of articles by regetting values to its properties. For more data, perceive how to instate objects by utilizing an item initializer. Unknown types. In circumstances where it isn't helpful or important to make a named class, utilize unknown sorts. Mysterious sorts are categorized by their named information individuals. For more data, see anonymous sorts. Expansion methods. You can expand a class without making an inferred class by making a different kind. That type contains strategies that can be called as though they had a place with the first kind. For more data, see extension techniques. Verifiably type local variables. In a case or a structure technique, you can utilize understood composing to train the compiler to decide a variable sort at gather time. For more data, see variable C sharp reference record. C sharp 9 presents the record type, a reference type that you can make rather than a class or a struct. Records are classes with work type in conduct for optimizing Nee, epitomizing information in unchanging sorts. C sharp 10 presents the record struct stream type. A record, either record class or record struct, gives the accompanying highlights. Brief linguistics structure for making a reference type with permanent properties. Stream balanced. Two factors of record type are equivalent on the off chance that they have a similar sort, and if for each field the qualities in the two record are equivalent. Classes use references balance. Two factors of a class type are equivalent on the off chance that they allude to a similar item. Brief language structure for non-destructive change. With articulation allows you to make another record occurrence that is a duplicate of a current example, yet with determined property estimations charge changed. Implicit designing for show to the two string strategy prints the records type name and the name and upsides of public properties. Support for legacy orders in classes. Record classes support legacy record structs don't uphold legacy.